Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have an update from Ukraine and I do this, I'm trying to doing it actually every day with a summary, and this is from the Ukrainian perspective. I have two articles here and the articles are talking about the Russians continuing their offensive on four fronts and the rest bombardments over back and forth. So let's start with the first article, which comes from actually is Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty. So it must be true, if you know what I mean. From February 3rd, 2023. Russians pressing in multiple directions in Donetsk amid signs of major offensive, Ukraine says. Now, just to show you where the whole, how should I put it, invasion, well not invasion, but the pressing, the offensive is in Donetsk area here. So here is going to be Avdiivka, Liman, Bakhmut, Novopavlivka. This is going to be the area here. This is an old map, so it doesn't really reflect the current situation over there. That gets me to the second article, which comes from Ukrinform from Friday, February 3rd, 2023. And this is the title, Enemy attempting to advance in four directions, suffering heavy losses. So on February 2nd, Russian invaders suffering heavy losses continued to conduct offensive operations in the Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Novopavlivka directions. And I said this is on this area right here. This is where they force their way in. Now, let's go to this one actually. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said this in its latest operational update published on Facebook, Ukrinform reports. And I'm quoting, "The Russian Federation does not stop its intentions to destroy the critical infrastructure of our state, continues to strike civilian objects and homes of the civilian population. Over the past day, the enemy launched 4 missile strikes, including 2 on a civilian infrastructure of Kramatorsk city, Donetsk region, as well as 5 airstrikes. They carried out more than 70 attacks on civilian objects in Kherson and Mykolaiv regions." So Mykolaiv and Kherson right here in the south, north, west of Crimea, and they said here Kharkiv over here. All right, so Kramatorsk city, Donetsk region. So as well as 5 airstrikes. They carried out more than 70 attacks on civilian objects in Kherson and Mykolaiv regions, that's in the south, using multiple launch rocket systems. Enemy strikes killed and injured civilians, the report says. The threat of further Russian airstrike and missile attacks on the entire territory of Ukraine remains high, the General Staff warned. The enemy, suffering heavy losses, continue to conduct offensive operations in Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Novopavlivka. All those, as I said, are here, right here. Kind of like where these little circles are, like this, well, with the exception of Liman, which is down here, like where this number 1 is here. So, like that. Liman is up here somewhere, and here where my cursor here is the Bakhmut, and Avdiivka here, and then Novopavlivka in the same area. So this is the front right here, where the Russians conduct offensive operations. So the enemy suffered in Liman, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Novopavlivka directions. Over the past day, units of the defense forces of Ukraine repelled Russian attacks in the areas of Stelmakivka, Nevske, and Bilohorivka in Luhansk region. Luhansk region, out of this area right here. This is Luhansk, but here. So it's the whole thing here when they usually start from north and go down with the front south to explain what the hell happened here. So, and then it says, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including Bakhmut and Ivanitske in Donetsk region. And Volyn Policia Sivershchinya and Slobozhanchinya direction, the situation has changed significantly. Probably didn't. No signs of enemy offensive groups formation have been recorded. The occupiers shelled the districts of Kliusi, Hremiach, and Yelina in Chernihiv region. Now, Chernihiv region is up here. The map doesn't show it. Well, it's right here. It's actually, this is Kiev right here. This is the Dnipro River, and Chernihiv is this right here, the northern part of the attack line. Okay, let's see where we here. Where we the occupier shelled. Alright, the occupier shelled the districts of Kliusi. I already said that thing over here. And then in Sumy region. In Sumy region is the lower. It's below that. Sumy is right here. So here's Kiev. This is Sumy right there. And this Chernihiv is right here. So they started with Chernihiv, then this, and then they come down here to Kharkiv, and then they come to Donbas region, which is Luhansk, Donetsk. Then it go to Zaporozhia, and then Kherson, and then here is Crimea. Just so we kind of know who's who, what's what. So there we are right here. So over the past day, units of the defense forces of Ukraine repelled Russian attacks. In Volyn, Polisia, Sivershchinya, and Slobozhchenya direction, the situation has changed significantly. I think did not change significantly. No signs of enemy offensive groups formation have been recorded. The occupiers shelled the districts of in Chernihiv, that's north, Moravenia, and about 5 more in Sumy down. So nothing happened in the Sumy and Chernihiv, but and Kharkiv region, just shelling left and right, which is the northern part. All these three, Chernihiv, Sumy Oblast, and then here Kharkiv is just exchange fire left and right, but no advances but on any side, on either side. So in the Kupiansk, in the Volyn, Polisia, I said this like 5 times already, I think, right? Yeah. In the Kupiansk direction, the enemy shelled the area of Dvorichnya, Kupiansk, and about 5 more in Kharkiv region, and Novoselivske in Stelmakivka in Luhansk region. So again, shelled left and right, at least the Russians did it. In the Liman direction, Liman direction is north of right here, where the number 1 kind of is, Liman. So in the Liman direction, Terny, Makivka, Chernovopopivka, and Torske in Luhansk region came under enemy fire. In the Bakhmut direction, the enemy shelled Spirnie, Bilohorivka, Vesele, Bakhmut, and Ivanivske in Donetsk region. So that they got from here, from Liman, they got here to Bakhmut, this area right here. In the Avdiivka direction, again came under enemy fire. Avdiivka is a little bit south in the Donetsk area, is south. I mean, Bakhmut is here and Avdiivka is a little bit here. So it's this front. In the Zaporozhia and Kherson directions, these are the ones in the south. So now we moved here, right, in the Zaporozhia area, and this is the Kherson. So the Zaporozhia and Kherson directions, areas of more than 40 settlements came under mortar, barrel, and rocket artillery strikes. Among them, the Vremivka of Donetsk region, and then Huliapilske and Kamyanske in Zaporozhia region, as well as Kherson, the one in the south, Zolota Balka, and about 5 more in Kherson region. During the past day, the Ukrainian Air Forces launched 4 strikes on the areas of concentration of Russian troops. In addition, Ukrainian defenders destroyed the Russian Merlin UAV. Units of the missile forces and artillery of Ukraine forces, for their part, struck 3 areas of concentration of enemy manpower and command post. So this is what happened in the past 24 hours in Ukraine. according to Ukrainians. I didn't see much about the Ukrainian operations there, but just they hit 2 or 3 posts, and I don't know if they just hide what they did, but I don't think they hide, because you would be proud of your successes, but I don't think, and you would trumpet all your successes, but I don't see much over there. So again, four directions where the Russians are trying to conduct offensive operations, nothing about advancing, obviously, coming from the Ukrainians. So Liman, Avdiivka, Novopavlivka, and Bakhmut. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.